Looking further back in the pack, Danica still trying to find that comfort level. She's still leaving about a car length and a half before she gets up underneath somebody.
Yeah, and that's just something that takes time and experience to get used to what you can do with this and what you have to do if you're going to continue to hold on to that draft.
Well, what's going to happen? You see a big pack right now. That's going to separate. You're going to have probably 2 or 3 packs in about 10 or 12 laps. She needs to make sure she's at the head of these things so she can stay with the faster cars. She needs to try to be more aggressive in this situation.
Coming down the backstretch now, still Biffle holding station. Brad Keselowski and Kyle Busch duking it out for second and third. Riggs doing a real nice job in that 09. He's tucked down on that low line. Here comes Junior to the middle of the racetrack. If somebody goes with him, here comes Smoke. That'll give him some help. It's Menard that may be left out on the high side.
Yeah, when you see drivers like this go to that middle, most of the time you say you don't want to be there, but they'll generally get some help, and it makes it look like that really works well.
Paul Menard saying, fellas, what'd you do to me? What did I do? He had worked his way all the way back up to fourth, but now he's getting the NASCAR Daytona shuffle all the way back as, boy, Scott Riggs now up to fourth.
And you see Kyle Busch jump to that outside to get that push from Dale Jr. and Tony.
See, Scott Riggs, yeah, he's made up 35 spots since the start of the race.
Just real impressed with the leader of this race, Greg Biffle, and this race team. They've been fast the entire time down here.
Remember, that's Baker Curb Racing, as he'll be running a limited schedule with them. And right now, out in front, back, there's checking in. There's Brendan Gaughan right behind Danica Patrick. Eric McClure on the high side. And you talked about losing contact. There's a lot more gap there from the last time we checked.
Yeah, she's doing what she needs to do there. She cars in front of her had to get out of the throttle. She took advantage of it. She was 3 wide for just a moment. That's what she needs to do right now.
Look at Kevin Harvick in the 33 trying to slice up the middle. Let's get an update on Kyle Busch as we watch all this action from Dave Burns.
Marty, sometimes the only way you can win at Daytona is to get partners to work with. But what if you're Kyle Busch, and what if you've been feeling a little lonely out there? Listen to his radio.
Why is it that it seems that I have nobody that wants to work with me? Because they're already scared to death you're going to beat them. They don't want to help you.
Well, Jason Ratcliffe, the crew chief, told me this morning that getting this car to handle is the most important thing. You heard Kyle talk about that in our countdown show today. If they got a great handling race car, he's already proven he can keep it at the front of the pack. If he can just get someone to help him a little bit.
Well, it looks like another car has gotten shuffled to the middle as Carl Edwards got underneath the... Looked like Scott Riggs and sort of pushed him back a few spots.
Yeah, I think Scott Riggs is thinking the same thing Kyle Busch is. Well, I want somebody to work with me here. I got a good car. I'm up here. And they just hung him right in the middle.
Yeah, I can tell Kyle Busch, when he set all the records that he set last year, people get a little bit envious of things like that, so they're probably not going to be too willing to help him add something else to his resume.
How about Brad Keselowski in this 22 car? He's come all the way from the back now, and he's got this thing really going toward the front.
Transmission linkage. Thought they were going to have a problem right at the start of the race. It has not reared its ugly head. He is in second spot, side by side with Kyle Busch. Right behind him, Carl Edwards in the 60 and the 88 of Dale Earnhardt Jr. And there is Tony Stewart right behind the 88.
Yeah, looking at this 22 car, Brad Keselowski up there, I think we all question a little bit, how strong would they be? Adding a second team over there at Roger Penske's in the Nationwide Series, did they have the people and the resources to get it all done to come out here strong? I think he's answering our question. Dave?
And DJ, they pulled from a number of different teams, including CGM Racing, JTG Racing, Baker Curb, Hendrick Motorsports, KHI, and put together a really solid group for this race. But they said one of the most important things was Brad's presence at the shop. He knows these race cars. He spent time with us, and he's the one who's got us most pumped up about coming to Daytona.
He's pumping that throttle pedal right now as he and Kyle Busch try and track down our race leader, but those three are trying to pull away. Looking in again on Danica, and not close enough to do any bump drafting yet, and that's going to have to be the next stop on her learning curve, is to get up tight enough that she can push somebody.
It looks like they've got her car handling a little bit better, though. She's a little more aggressive this run.
Yeah, she's doing what she needs to do right now. She's still right there in that big group of cars. Speaking of a big group, look at this group.
You got
3 wide for a minute.
Yeah, Smoke was pushing the 88. Here comes Carl. And on the high side, looks like we may have another lead change as if it can hold on at the stripe. as Brad Keselowski looks like he is going to lead this lap, and that will give us our 6th different leader.
Contact there between Michael Annett and Casey Kane in that 38 car.
And they're still 3 wide. Man, there is a lot of skating going on. Michael Annett's the only hockey player in that whole group in the 15.
Yeah, Casey told us in the pre-race show that his car wasn't to his liking, and I'm not sure they've gotten it there yet.
Well, there's teammates right there, the 38 and the 10, and got a tire rub, it looks like, right in front of him.
Yeah, that's Michael Annett, and I think maybe that left rear might be rubbing a little bit after that contact.
Also in this mix, the 32 of Brian Vickers, as you can see him there on the high side of the track. Let's get an update on his situation from Jamie.
He actually has a very damaged race car. On those last round of pit stops, it was Bobby Gerhardt who checked up in front of Brian Vickers and smashed Vickers' nose. The good news is his temperatures are good right now, and even better news, he can still use the bumper, and he's just going nothing but forward, Marty.
Did you see Stewart go sideways? Whoa, manages to wheel and steer it back on course. But I think my heart was fluttering. I don't know about his.
Just another day at work for him.
Yeah, he probably said, what are you guys talking about?
Check it out.
There we
Another
go.
3 wide.
This is right behind Tony. 27 of Biffle's starting to get pushed back a little bit. He's got no help. He's hung out on the low side.
Tell you what we're seeing, these guys been able to make some adjustments on these race cars, and they're getting a lot more racy now, which makes it a lot more fun for everybody.
Well, we have passed the halfway mark. And,
oh, they're still sliding, though.
Still got a lot of racing to go, but you're right. They have picked up the tempo as far as the aggressiveness is concerned. Tony Stewart looking to go underneath the 22. As this battle up front, we keep swapping the lead. This could be our 7th lead change if it holds at the stripe. Coming down that backstretch, heading for turn number 3.
Check out how far Harvick has come now. Restarted 13th, going for 2nd for Brad Keselowski right now.
And he's underneath him, you're right, the 33. Kevin Harvick doing the job out on the track. You heard the displeasure of the last pit stop.
Tell you somewhere else that Kevin Harvick's been getting it done. That's at the shop. The top 2 cars came out of KHI.
Yeah, and you don't like those bad pit stops, but sometimes there's nothing like a little bad effort there, or you can fire it up. Yeah, get that driver going. So
the guys that are running 1-2 have won the last 5 nationwide races here at Daytona in February. Tony Stewart has won 4 of them, and in 07 it was Kevin Harvick. One guy who would love to win for his first time here at Daytona is in that 60 car, Carl Edwards. He finished 2nd last year to Stewart by 68 1,000th of a second. Kyle Busch down right behind him. Right now it looks like the 22 needs some help from Dale Jr. They both have slid back a little bit.
Yeah, and I talked about these cars driving better, but I tell you what, these guys are wheeling these race cars. They are sideways. They've just got them better now to where they can hang on to them.
61 of Josh Wise is doing the smart thing. He's getting up way high and saying, fellas, go on by. And that's exactly what they're doing. There's their top 5. We have passed halfway, but the fun is still more to come. I'm gonna go it alone. Multiple car crash, including Danica Patrick, among many others, here on the front straightaway. Brian Scott, the 21 of John West Townley. Colin Brown, the 31, is also in this mix of Stanton Barrett. That's what's left of the right front corner of Danica's car.
Yeah, this all developed in front of her. This crash did. She did a good job of avoiding most of it, but then just couldn't avoid all the cars in it.
Also in it is the 61 of Josh Wise, the 48 of Johnny Sauter. This is going to be a long one.
Wheels to the left, go to it.
That's what's left of Josh Wise's car. And there is Ricky Stenhouse Jr. And his debut here at Daytona is pretty well torn up, and he's on fire. Back to the 6. The 6 is on fire. We've got parts and pieces all over this racetrack. And there is the fire still going. Stenhouse is out of the car, but this baby is burning.